Say hi. You missed
Assalamu
everybody.
alaikum, Brother Wasim. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, how you doing?
Alhamdulillah. Where's Hadia?
Here she is.
Hey, there we go.
And here's the other one.
Yes. Wonderful, beautiful.
And it's good to see you.
Yes, Jazakallah khair,
Hope-
Sister Nabila.
Hope you're doing well.
Alhamdulillah. We'll make it work.
Yeah,
Inshallah.
inshallah. Here is Ursula.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Nabila.
Can you put this down?
All right, I know this is new for many people, so they're just getting the messages and they're coming in. Allow them some time just to join us, inshallah. All right. All right. We're gonna start. It's 3:31, 3:32, and I'll say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me, should I start? Do you guys have any questions? I should start with that. What would you like to do?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So
let's,
this is what it will look like when the teacher is on.
yes. So there are several other specs and preferences, if you will, that I turned off just because it's a public meeting. But the teachers will have a way of controlling who comes into the session, who is able to talk in the session, who can can annotate. They can annotate things on the board or on the screen itself. Who can share a screen? Who cannot share a screen? All these things. I've turned all these things off, but this is what it would generally look like for the students, inshallah. So let's start off. How many people got the email with the PDF file that is really thick, like 35 pages long?
Assalamu alaikum.
So we started off, we sent out that document today specifically because we want people to see exactly what's going on and what we're planning on doing, bismillah. And it goes by grade level. First it starts off with the head of school letter, and then it continues, and then it gets into kindergarten, pre-K, kindergarten, and then elementary, and then secondary, each section. And in each one, there is specific detailed information about, the routine of the school, the class, the routine of the teacher, the PMI, which is the code that you got today, how they enter, how they exit, the schedule, what we'll be following. We'll be following the same exact schedule as far as the pattern is concerned, only with the late start schedule timing. So it starts at 10 o'clock and then ends at 3:30, inshallah. So that will be, that was detailed enough. I hope you were able to see that in the document. The last couple of days, last week specifically, the teachers were working very closely with each other, where they were able to test out the softwares and all the resources that sometimes they were actually using in class. And so one of the things is that I'm gonna mute everybody, and if you have a question, you just raise your hand, and if you put the camera on, I can see you. So this way the echo is not bad. Okay, so yes, so with that, the teachers were actually working throughout the last couple of days to look at the softwares that we're using and test it out. So they were using it virtually as well. So some teachers were hosting as if they are the teacher, and then the other teachers were pretending they are the students, and then they were switching so they can try out all the, and iron out all the kinks for the software, especially for Zoom. I think for the most part, elementary, lower elementary, and even upper elementary, they've been using several softwares. And all these softwares they are familiar with because they're using it in the classroom. Secondary, we're not really worried about because we're using all of this in class already, so it wasn't really a big deal to them. The only difference is the interaction in the classroom as opposed to the virtual one that's here. So yeah, The counseling sessions, I have a couple of notes here. The counseling session with Sister Emily and Sister Noor Al-Hayari will continue, not this week, but next week, inshallah. First, the priority will be for the students to get to know the classes, get to know the softwares, and I know for lower elementary, first and second, and some of the third graders, it'll be very difficult for them to sit and watch a screen throughout the day, but there will be several that will be easier on them, hopefully. And we have to try things out. That the plans are not set in stone. We will continue to revamp them as we see. As we move on. I'm going to mute everybody just so everybody can only hear me. We will continue to revamp the plans as we move along. So by the end of the week, we actually have our parent-teacher conferences is this coming Friday. So we'll continue with that, again, using the Zoom session. So this way, you'll be able to talk to the teachers, and I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of questions. The most important thing, it's specifically stipulated in the document, and I wanna share my screen, and just raise your hand if you can see my screen or not right now. Hold on, give me 3, 2, 1. You guys should be able to see my screen. Okay, iPhone raised his hand. Good, so you can give me a thumbs up.
Yeah, we can see, alhamdulillah.
All right, so I'm gonna go through, for example, the elementary document. And every teacher, you guys can see this document, correct? Let me do that.
Yes, we can see the document.
Wonderful. So let me just do that first. It's new one for a lot of people. And I was just talking to my wife the other day. I was telling her I always wanted to work from home. I regret saying that. I hate it. I miss the kids. We all miss the kids, and we want to see them as soon as possible. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this go away very easy, very quickly. Okay, so let's just use Sister, right here we go. So this is the elementary document, for example, and you will see the teacher at the top with the name, and then for all the subjects, you'll see the different softwares that the teachers will be using, their Zoom BMI ID number, if you will, and their email address. And then for each subject, they have different things as well. So this is clearly stipulated in that document for elementary teachers. And if you continue scrolling down, you will see 1B, and then you'll see second grade, and then 3A and 3B, and all the teachers are here, alhamdulillah, including Sister Rita and Sister Lubna and Sister Samar and the PE teacher as well. Okay. Let's share this with you guys. Okay. So this is the document that was sent out, and it starts with pre-K, and this is elementary. And then after the elementary, these boxes here, you'll be able to see this document right here that starts with this ayah from the Quran, and then Atlas is very important. How many people have actually?
That is your Atlas? Atlas?
No.
Right.
ADS Atlas public site.
So the ADS Atlas public site is very important. And I know that even though we've had it for 2 years, very few people have actually visited that site. But I'm just gonna go through it very quickly. So once you are in the Atlas website, ADS Atlas public website, you can go, the password is Salam 2018. So where was it? Yeah, that one. It says right here, Salam 2018, right here, okay? Then you'll be able to actually maneuver the website, and you can go to search curriculum. So search curriculum, and then you can filter by any subject and any grade level that you want. So what school are you? Your elementary, let's say that you want, you know, 5th grade and you want science. If you scroll down, you just say search, and then you'll be able to see what we call the curriculum map. The easiest thing to do is click on Science 5, and you'll be able to see the units on the left, and then when are they being taught. So obviously right now we should be using our resources wisely. And then if you click on those, you'll be able, first thing you'll be able to see are the benchmarks and the standards that the teachers are teaching, as well as when you scroll down, you'll be able to see the resources that teachers are using as well. Some of these resources will be PDF files that you can actually download, and you can show your kids and they can work on it. Some of these files, let me just admit everybody. We have over 36 people, mashallah. My parent-teacher conferences are never really this much, which I've done this in the past. So if I try something else, for example, if I say I want to look at secondary, and I want to see grade 6, and I want to see math, and then if I scroll down, so this is grade 6 math. Again, and you look at math 6, you look at all these PDF files and links that you can actually use at home. If you click on math 6, you'll be able to see, again, this is called the scope and sequence, which is which unit are being taught when. And we are in February, March. So right now we are here at integers and rational numbers. So this one right here, if you click on that, you'll be able to see, again, the benchmarks and the standards that are addressed in this particular unit. And then when you scroll down, you'll be able to see some of the PDFs that the teacher has put up. If you click on those, you'll be able to get them. And they're actually like work documents, like worksheets. You can ask your son or daughter to use them as extra worksheets. And then some teachers have uploaded those, as well as the answers are at the end. So this way you can check your answers as well. So basically, this is it for the next couple of weeks between the online courses that we will be doing, which is using Zoom. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Okay. Between Zoom, which is basically the interactive live streaming. For the most part, the teachers are not going to be live streaming the entire time. For some grade levels or for some sections in the subject area or for that particular day, they might do out of the 30 minutes or the 32 minutes the students are with the teacher virtually, they will be able to do, the teacher will be doing 10-15 minutes of straight down lectures and then giving time for the kids to work on their own or even work in different groups. There's a way for us actually here in the Zoom session where we can, it's called breakout rooms. So basically putting the students in different groups and then they can work together. The teacher is still monitoring them during that time. So this is, again, one way. Again, all these ideas and all these plans are not set in stone. We will look at them at the end of the week or next week and see whether or not they're actually working. If they are working, we'll continue. We want your suggestions and plans. So I'm going to actually continue hosting this particular meeting on a weekly basis, just so we work out and we are not any kinks, inshallah.
Shakir, quick question. This is Shakir.
Yes, sir.
So as far as the teachers doing their little segment on Zoom, will there be like a timetable that they'll say like from this time to this time will be this subject, and so we kind of know kind of what the order is going to be?
Right, correct. So if you open the document, and I'm going to share my screen again. So what grade level is your son in? Give me an example.
Ahmed's in 2nd grade.
Ahmed's in 2nd grade. So you're going to scroll down to the elementary. And this right here is the timetable for the entire day and the timing of the periods. And if you scroll further down, right here is 2nd grade. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, right here is second grade. And the times are on the left side as well. They are aligned with the timetable that I just shared with you. So if you can just focus on this, which is the same exact thing that we're doing on a regular school week anyways. And then there are different kind of approaches that we're gonna look at. First, we're gonna try that every teacher has their own classroom, just like they do in a physical room. Every teacher has their own virtual room, and then the students will be leaving the room and coming out of the room and going into another one. So that means that the parent has to help the child of putting in the PMI every single time, right? So we're gonna try that approach. There's another approach that we wanna test this out first, and if that doesn't work, we have another approach that might work, inshallah, where the virtual room is actually one, and then the teachers come in and out, but we have grade levels where, I can see you, Laith. We have grade levels where there are different teachers teaching the same subject. Like, for example, third grade Arabic, for example. They are split between Hifz, Sister Lubna, and Sister Summer. So that would mean that every single student have to enter those virtual classrooms using the teacher's PMI, which stands for Personal Meeting ID number. But the teachers will be sending their weekly plan, if you will, or even sometimes their daily plan on Class Dojo, and we'll be emailing it to parents as well. Okay. Do we have any secondary students here? I see Omar.
Ashaz.
Ashaz, here you are. Secondary students, do we have any questions?
I'm the parents for Sumera and Sidra Siddiqui.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I just joined in late. I
It's okay.
want to know how the HEFS program will work because we don't have a PMI for the HEFS.
Right, so the PMI for Sheikh Omar, inshallah, I'll send it out. I have Sister Sakina, Sister Aya, and Sheikh Omar. Those three PMIs are missing from the document that we sent out. I'll be sending those out, inshallah, at the end of the day today or tomorrow morning. So they will be exactly the same exact way as they would be going to during the regular school day. When they have Arabic and Quran or Deen, then they'll be leaving the teacher's Cesarita's class, and then they'll be going to Sheikh Omar's PMI or virtual room as well.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. That helps.
But also, just so we all remember, Sheikh, the Hifz program actually ends at the end of this month. So we have this week, and that's the Hifz class ends. I'm with everything that's going on, and I'm going to try to get Sheikh Omar to continue on for the month of April, inshallah. But originally, it was scheduled up until end of March because of several things, including Ramadan, which is coming up. And I don't know if there will be Taraweeh or not. I don't think there will be. So that was one of the excuses, but we'll see if Sheikh Omar can continue with it, inshallah, to the end of the month.
Now, the Rockwood School District announced that they're through the 22nd. Is the ADS will be the same thing? Will not be physically at the school building until then as well? Or is it going to extend longer than that?
For the most part, right now, we're going to follow Rockwood, Parkway, Hazelwood, the St. Louis County shelter in place till April 22nd. Inshallah, hopefully we won't need to extend that. Most likely we won't if we all stick to the plan. But the plan is until now, it's April 22nd, yes.
Assalamu alaikum, Mudir Muhammad. I have a question.
Go ahead.
It's regarding 6th grade. I wanted to ask about their assignments and tests. How is that going to be? Are they going to be turning in everything online? Because I know that they had a science project that was supposed to be due yesterday, and Ustaza Khan had an assignment that they had to turn in. So how is that going to be held?
So all the assignments we're revamping everything. We basically, the last 2 days, we are going completely virtual and going completely online. So yes, the assessments themselves, the way they are going to be structured, they are all going to be online. The assignments are going to be turned in online as well. Some of the teachers, I'm going to share my screen one more time just to show you guys. And it's very important that I know the document is big, but it's very comprehensive and it answers a lot of your questions. So for secondary teachers and secondary parents and students, if you scroll down, I think to page 27, it tells you exactly what softwares the teachers are going to be using, whether it's Zoom, Google Classroom, Atlas Rubicon, and we just went through that, Class Dojo, Praxi, Math IXL, and Terdid for Arabic. The office hours for teachers are going to be 9 through 10 at the beginning, just because we know that a lot of people are going to have questions. But if you scroll down, either study halls, there are some students, not grade 6, but there are some students in secondary, mainly all the students in secondary from 7th to 12th grade have one study hall, if not multiple. And those will be individual work sessions that they are going to be working by themselves, just like they were on campus. And if you scroll down, it tells you exactly where, like, what are the expectation for the students. Right, so they have to have some sort of a quiet space around the house so they can work. They have to have their materials with them, and that's when the assessments and the assignments will be given in. If you scroll further down, and this is the secondary schedule for everybody from 6th grade to 12th grade, and the kids have that. If you scroll down and you look at this document called Secondary E-Learning Routine and Expectations, you will see per teacher the routine that they will follow throughout the day, as well as their PMI, as well as their email address. Some teachers will have something called an entry ticket and an exit ticket. For example, let's see, scroll down. I think for example here, check in through Google Form. This is Salma Wahdi, for example, taking attendance. There is a mini lesson throughout the day, our morning and closing dua for sure, but there are some teachers who will be doing something called an entry ticket and an exit ticket, just to see that the students are paying attention during the class and they're actually focused and they're working with the teacher throughout the period. Attendance is crucial at this point. Students must be available online, and their cameras have to be turned on. But all the assessments, the normal assessment that we would have, the paper and pen assessment, all that is getting turned into digital ones, which means either Google Forms, we will use Google Forms, or other methods of handing in assignments, inshallah.
Inshallah. And I have, I'm sorry, I have 2 more questions. One is, so they're going to be sitting on their computers from 10 until 3:30, except for lunch and the Dhuhr prayer, right?
Yes, they would be. For 6th grade, yes.
Okay, and my third question is for electives. I look at the schedule and there's electives. How is that gonna work?
The electives for now, we're keeping them on the side. So 6th graders actually is the only class that doesn't have a study hall. So that's another additional period where they can get up and stretch and go to the bathroom and get some water and drinks and maybe catch up on some of the assignments. But the elective for now is not being counted, nor is it being taught by teachers. After this week, we'll see whether or not we can put it back in place. It's a lot of stuff at the beginning for a lot of teachers and a lot of kids. So we want to minimize the stress as much as possible, inshallah.
It's good to change it to a study hall for them to catch up on stuff and for them to have the extra time to finish their assignments.
Sure. And again, these are things that we are looking into. For now, there isn't the electives is not going to be. Sorry, I'm gonna mute everybody again. If you need to talk, just raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself. So this way, people are not listening to the background noise. So for now, there are no electives. It's an additional study hall for 6th graders, especially because they definitely need it until we get this up and running, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sana. I'm Anabia Kadri's mother. Anabia is in 1st grade, and I joined in a little late. I had a question. So for 1st graders, do they also have to sit in front of the screen the whole time?
The answer depends on. Sorry, one second.
And one more question. So the assignments that we submit, are they going to be graded by the teacher, or are we grading them? What's the process for that?
Okay, so let me share again my screen and move the document that we, can you see the screen now? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay,
Yes, I can.
so if we go back to elementary and Anabia is in 1B, correct?
She's in 1A.
1A. I got the name right finally, and I got the class wrong. So if you look at Sister Dina's specifically her classroom routine and expectation, she tells you specifically what is for which subject she's going to be using what software, and her constant constant PMI, which is not going to change. So this way you don't have to continue searching for it. And for each subject, and she will tell you exactly how these, what are the breaks. So your question is, are they going to be on their computer all day long? The answer is no. How long? Well, it depends on the day, and it will depend on the lesson that you're teaching. And it will differ from one day to another. Some days it will be a lot of lecturing for a specific subject, and the following day will be a lot of independent work where they would have to hand in those assignments somehow. Now, handing the assignments is very easy. If the teacher sent out a worksheet, for example, all you need to do is you don't need to print. So if I send you a worksheet, all you need to do is write down on a piece of paper the answers. Question number 1, the answer is such and such and such, and then take a picture of it with your phone, email it to the teacher, send it through ClassDojo in the time frame that they're asking for. I know for the younger kids, the parents are definitely going to need to be helping them out, but for the older ones, I think from 4th grade on up, they are in a much better place, inshallah. So as an accredited school, the answer is yes. We have to continue assessing. We have to continue delivering the content. I think we are way ahead of some of the public schools in the area, including Parkway and Rockwood. They are, I know, for example, my kids are in middle school. They got an email saying that an English teacher is going to teach 90 minutes throughout the week, as opposed to every single day. And for elementary as well, they're getting a whole bunch of what we call busy work, which are basically worksheets that they take, they write the answers down, and then they send it to the teacher either electronically or they drop it off. I don't think they will drop it off at campus. They will be sending it electronically. But alhamdulillah, I think our teachers have been working the last 2 days very hard, and what they have in place, inshallah, will work, and we'll continue assessing them throughout the week and get your feedback to see whether or not it's working.
Okay,
Any questions?
I had one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to, is there a time set for parents to talk to the teachers? Because I'm sure we won't have the parents-teacher conference now. So
actually, we are having our parent-teacher conferences on Friday as scheduled.
Oh, okay.
And even with that, on a regular day from 9 to 10, before the session 1 starts, you can schedule just a quick get together with your teacher, with the teachers that you want to meet. You have their email addresses in the document. You have their PMI Zoom. You can send them an email and tell them if you can chat with them tomorrow from like 9 to 9:30. So this way they are scheduled for you.
Okay, that sounds good. So the kids won't have school on Friday, so it would be a parents-teacher conference that day.
Correct. As
okay.
scheduled, the parent-teacher conferences for elementary and secondary are staying the same.
Okay, sounds good. Jazakallah.
Okay, yeah. Anybody else? I want to hear from the students. Yes, Edmund's father. That's Edmund's father. Yes.
Yes. Question is that since this is pretty much going to be a recording, are we going to be able to see this again one more time, like slowly and go through it again, or?
Okay, so recording, we have been playing with the recording. We can actually, I'm recording this session right now. However, what we found out is that with Zoom, once throughout the session, I can pause the recording and I continue it. In order for me to convert the Zoom recording into an actual movie or actual video clip that I can send to the students and I can upload it on Atlas, it takes about 4 to 5 minutes, depending how long the session was. So
okay, like a session by session, pretty much, like 5 minutes.
So the students can actually, we will allow the students to record the sessions on their own devices, so they can watch it whenever. But the teachers will not be able to physically unless we have teachers must have like multiple devices and multiple accounts, because I can't, while it's being converted, while the video is being converted to a video clip, you cannot join in another session. If a teacher is teaching back to back, they cannot start the next session until the conversion is done. So they either have to stop the conversion or allow it to convert and not start the class. So we decided to let it start the class, and the students can convert and can record the sessions on their own if they wish.
All right. So what about this meeting right now? The instruction about where we're supposed to go, how and all, whatever, everything else.
Right.
Is that going to be recorded somewhere, or is it that going to be also posted so we can go later on in about 2 hours or tomorrow morning if we need some more instructions to go and check it on it? So
I am currently recording the session. I will convert it to a video clip, and I will either send it through ClassDojo or email it to all the parents in China.
yeah, that's what was the question. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I know we have several teachers here who are also parents, but if they would like to chime in and just give some reassurances to the parents here, please feel free to jump in. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay. Going once, going twice. Yes, sir.
Okay, admin is actually asking, how long is those classes gonna be, like a regular day or?
Okay, so did you get the email today with the document, the PDF file?
I think I did.
Okay, so let me do it one more time. So I'm gonna share my screen. This is what teachers will be doing as well. So pretend this is a textbook or something.
Okay.
This is the document that I sent today. It's 35 pages long. You will need to scroll down to find the secondary section. So all this is elementary. All this is elementary, and this is secondary right here. Okay, so it starts off saying secondary students and parents. It will give you the expectation. It will tell you the teachers which softwares they'll be using. It will give you instructions and the password for our Atlas public site. It will tell you the office hours for teachers from 9 to 10 every morning. The schedule, 32 minutes per period, which is a late start schedule. We're starting at 10 o'clock and ending at 3:30 with a lunchtime. This is only for secondary. It tells you expectation for students during study halls, what are expected of students, what are expected of parents. And if you continue scrolling down, the schedule of every grade level, and the students have the same thing as well. It has not changed. The pattern, the colors here has not changed. The time on the left is what changed, which is we're following a late start schedule. And then following that, you will see per teacher, what is the routine per day, in addition to what's called the PMI, which is the code that you use to get into this session, as well as the teacher's email address.
All right, admin also has some question. Okay, admin, what do you want?
Sure.
On time between periods.
Right.
Time between periods.
The time between periods is 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Very, very, very short.
Okay.
Same as you would have during school hours. Okay. However, like we mentioned before, I don't know if you heard this or not. We are not teaching. We are not doing electives at the moment for this week and next week. We're not doing electives. So 6th grade is the only grade in secondary that doesn't have a study hall. So this will be their study hall. If we see down the line that this will continue till the end of the year or till April 22nd, like everybody's been saying, then we might put the electives back in. But at this point, we're not doing electives at the moment.
I have a question, please.
Yes.
Where we live, we don't have internet. We use our hotspots when my kids need any information online. So there might be a possibility that sometimes they get disconnected or something happens and they have to return their hotspot on. Would they get penalized for that if it happens?
We're not penalizing for these things. I mean, these technical difficulties are gonna happen, and we understand. However, the students will still be responsible for the work that needs to be submitted.
Okay, thank you.
Spectrum, and I can send this in as an email. Spectrum actually has like a free 60-day trial period or something like that. People who don't have internet in their areas. I don't know if that would apply to you or not, but I can send out the information regarding spectrums.
We don't get it in our area, but we got more hotspot provided for our line, so hopefully that will work.
Right, because you have limited. I'm sure hotspots are limited as well in the phone package, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, wait, I have one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
So for the first graders, they have PE in the schedule. How will that be work? Are they?
So, PE would be just like any other class. The students will join Ustaza Aya on live, and then she'll be doing some exercises. There'll be a whole bunch of jumping jacks and push-ups and jumping ropes. We definitely want the kids to be active. We don't want them to be sitting around all day long. So if they need to get up and stretch, if they need their PE is not going to go away. Their PE, if anything, is there. And it says Sister Aya. Her name is not in the document, so 3 people are not in the document. Sheikh Omar, Sister Aya, and Sister Sakina. I'll be sending those separately, inshallah, today, but PE is still on.
Great, thank you.
I have one more question. Assalamu
Alaikum salam, Yusuf.
Is there going to be a specific time that Sheikh Omar is going to leave school? Leave the via FaceTime or?
So Sheikh Omar will be online, inshallah, just like the rest of the teacher, till the end of the month of March. So the rest of this week and all of next week. With everything that's going on, we will try to keep him till the end of the month, since I don't think there will be any Taraweeh or anything like that, which will take him away. That was the original plan, but for the moment, he is with us until the end of March, inshallah. And just like a regular schedule, during Arabic and Islamic studies, you will leave that class and join his virtual class with his PMI, which I will send today, inshallah.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody, any more questions? I want to hear from the students. Any students who, Laith and Omar and Sophia and Ashaz and Ahmed G and Fatima. Do you guys have any questions for us? Everybody's good? Okay.
What about the science fair?
The science fair, Sister Ghazala is going to send something out, inshallah, either today or tomorrow, but we are not doing the science fair, obviously. There are many activities.
Do you have any questions?
Yes. There are many activities that we had scheduled that are definitely not going to be happening, unfortunately, like the Hajj simulation, science fair itself. It would be a grade, an assignment that you would have to hand in. Either take a picture of it, or sometimes the teacher would ask you to record yourself giving a presentation and send it to her, something like that.
Muhammad.
Ahmed G.
Will there be any consequences if anybody is bad?
If anybody's what?
Bad.
Nobody's bad. Everybody's a good kid. You just have to make the right choice. Consequences as far as what? Like you not paying attention in class?
Yeah.
Yes, the teacher will call me, and I have my own virtual room, which is this one. I will be, you'll be released from the class, just like you would come to my office. I will be watching you while you're doing your work in front of me, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be popping in and out of all the classrooms all the time, just to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. If I can drive over and make sure that you guys are doing what you're supposed to do in your houses, I would, but I'm quarantined in the kitchen and I cannot leave it until 4 o'clock. And then my wife comes and takes the computer away from me. Sophia, I can't hear you, honey. Hold on 1 second.
Are we
There
going
you
to have
go.
assembly?
Are you going to have what?
Assembly.
I do want to have an assembly. I just want to wait so Wednesday and Thursday are the very first 2 days, and then Friday we have parent-teacher conferences. I do want to continue our assemblies. I want to continue our ma'thurat. I want to continue everything. I don't want you to feel like we have neglected you guys. We miss you, if anything. And yes, I want to continue having the assemblies with everybody. We have iPhone who raised their hand. Yes, sir. Ma'am, iPhone. I don't know who that is.
Okay. So,
Will we have Jeopardy in?
This is Fatima Haq.
Yes.
How are you, Fatima? We might do Jeopardy virtually, just like this. We're gonna look into that, inshallah. But for now, Jeopardy on campus is not happening, but we were gonna try to keep Jeopardy, and we might change the way we're doing it, just like we're doing it right here.
Okay.
وإياكم sweetie. Anybody
Are
else?
we still? Yes, I have my last question, I promise. Do we still have parent-teacher conference on Fridays?
We still have parent-teacher conference on Friday. Your schedule is still the same. You have the teacher's PMI ID numbers, and you'll be able to join virtually, just like you are with me right now.
Inshallah. Jazakallah.
Wa alaikum assalam. Who is this? Amir.
Amir, yes.
Takrur, yes, sir.
If this happens,
You need to come closer to the. You need to come closer to the mic so I can hear you.
still sleepy. If we stay here for the rest of the year, what about the finals?
All assessments are going to be changed to electronic assessments. Whether or not we will have final exams or not, if this continues to the end of the year, I don't want to think about that right now. But most likely we will still have final exams, and we might do them either a project or you do a presentation of some sort and send an email to the teacher, or record it and send it as a presentation. And then there are multiple ways of doing, of going about it. But there has to be some sort of a comprehensive final assessment, whether it's a paper and pen or a Google form or a presentation or a project or a research paper, something like that. Anabia.
When can we come back to school?
Oh, honey, I want to go back to school right now, right? I know. Inshallah, this will end very soon, and we will all be together, inshallah, at our beloved ADS. I know the teachers miss you guys so much, and so do I. Omar, yes. I can't hear you, Omar. You have to unmute yourself. Here we go.
Sorry, I joined kind of late. Could you show me, for example, like tomorrow morning, I have Dean first hour. Could you show me, walk me through how do I like join the class, and
Sure.
where do I get my code or?
So I'm going to do this one more time. If you open the document that we sent you and you scroll down to the secondary section. I hope this is not Omar. Is this Omar? I don't think it's Omar singing. All right, so Omar, when you open this and you go down to page 27, you will see the letter for secondary students and parents. You will see the websites or the online resources the teachers will be using. You will see their office hours. You'll see the schedule, which period starts when and what. Your expectation as a student. The parent expectation. If you continue scrolling down, you will see your schedule as well. You have your schedule with you. The only difference, this pattern is still the same. The only difference are the timing on the left side, which is the same as late start. And then when you continue scrolling down even further, you will see every student, every teacher, their PMI address, which you will use to join in the meeting just like you joined here. You will see their routine, you will see their email address, and you can simply just join.
Thank you.
Yes, who's talking? Just raise your hand.
Yes.
All right. If nobody has any more questions, our teachers, I have an iPhone. Yes, sir. iPhone, you're unmuted. Go ahead. You have a question?
Okay. So, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Okay. So so are we still gonna interact with the classmates?
Are you going to still interact with classmates? Yes, you will be interacting with students. Teachers, just like they put you in groups in different corners of the room, they will be doing something called a breakout room, which in the middle of this Zoom session, you will be grouped with other students, and you can actually see each other and share each other's screens and talk to each other. And the teacher will be monitoring all that, inshallah. And then the teacher can easily bring you back together just like they would in the regular class. And all of that is happening tomorrow and on Thursday. So Wednesday and Thursday are basically a lot of what we call PD. So this is professional development for our students to work from home. which I hate. And they will learn how to get into, on Zoom and everything, just like you're doing right now.
What about Friday?
Friday's really good. But
Okay. All right. Again, if you have any more questions, specific questions, I will continue to have these, online sessions with everybody just to get everybody's feedback. And again, any plan that we have in place is not set in stone. They can easily be changed around. Yes, sir. I have a question. Someone who raised their hand.
What are you doing?
Rasul Javed. Ashaz. You have a question for me or no? No? He's good. Okay. We'll continue to talk to each other. We'll continue to make this work, inshallah, for everybody. So, Jazakumullah al khair, inshallah, this will pass by. Again, if you need anything, we are just a phone call away or an email away. Just feel free to send us a message. Even if you need something personal, we have several people in the masjid, alhamdulillah, who are volunteering to deliver food and groceries to the needy. If you know anybody, please make sure that they are using this huge service for them. Jazakumullah khair, and I'll be waiting for any more comments if you all have any. All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam.
Done?